Slightly different camera angle today. What do we think? Is it good? Too many chins? Not enough chins? Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, that cream's gone bad. God damn it. Hi friends. So today's a very exciting video. You may have seen from my Instagram stories, if you follow me there, that something very exciting came in the mail. It was a bit touch and go there for a minute. We'll talk about that in a sec. But if you were being very perceptive, you might know that today's video is going to be a first impressions of the Shroud and Beautbean It's Freakin' Bats palette. It's finally here and we're going to dive right into it today, and I think that's all I'm going to say because my intros are always far too long. So if that sounds like fun to you, then please keep on watching and let's get started. So this came in the mail like only 2 days ago. If you know anything about Shroud Cosmetics, they are a one-person operation, and this is their first collab with an influencer. It's very exciting for them. I personally did not know Beautbean before this. However, I love Shroud Cosmetics. I own 2 of their palettes, and they're 2 of my absolute diehard favorite palettes. So anything that Shroud announces, I'm going to jump onto just because I love them so much. Plus the color scheme of this palette is just like, it's just so spooktacular and amazing. Love it so much. So Shroud is a one-person operation, hand presses everything themselves, and I don't think either Shroud or Beautbean were anticipating the absolute frenzy that this palette caused. At first, Shroud only opened up a limited amount of pre-orders just to, you know, make sure that they were able to fulfill all of them. They launched the pre-order at the beginning of October. I'm thinking maybe to get it to us by Halloween. However, it is now December 2nd as I'm filming this, and it just came in a couple days ago. So Shroud only had a limited amount of pre-orders at the beginning, but people were so excited about this product that they decided to open up pre-orders indefinitely, meaning that there was going to be an unlimited amount of pre-orders, so have at her essentially. That in turn caused them to be forced to close the shop because there were so many pre-orders that they had to fulfill with one person pressing shadows that it was just impossible for them to stay open. I think they ended up getting a pressing machine and also a couple of other staffers so that they could churn them out a little bit faster. So you can imagine just how many pre-orders ended up happening and just how backed up Shroud was. It must have been absolutely overwhelming. I totally understand why it had to take this long. So in my mind, it was like, take all the time you need. I'm just so happy it arrived. However, when it did arrive, I opened up the package, took it out of the sleeve, and when I opened the palette, the shade had exploded and it was everywhere. So I did end up managing to repress it with some 99% alcohol, and I couldn't save all of it clearly because it was literally everywhere. I was taking tweezers and trying to very, very delicately just pick up chunks of pigment and putting it back into the pan. It looks like I managed to salvage at least a little bit of it, and it pressed it okay, and it survived the journey here, which is great. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to stay intact. After experiencing all of that, I would just probably warn you, if you were going to travel with this palette, that some of these shadows might be a little too softly pressed to survive a transatlantic journey. That being said, that's not happening anytime soon, but I just want to let you know. They are very softly pressed, delicate shadows, which means that they're probably going to have insane payoff, but you just got to be a little careful. That's enough talking. So why don't I zoom you in and we can get started. Also, just in case you were wondering, it's 100% vegan and cruelty-free. All right, let's prime. I have no idea where to start. I really want to swatch these metallics just because I haven't even been able to do that yet because I spent the majority of my time with this palette trying to fix it. Anyway, so I wanted to dip into Handbook. Ooh, there's a reason that this is such a delicate palette. These shades are soft as hell. I'm surprised more of them didn't break actually. Oh my God. Wow, okay. So these are amazing. This is Handbook, Apparition, which, oh, speaking to me right now, Sam, and Grim. These are absolutely sensational. Let's swatch 0, and hopefully I did not ruin it. Ooh, okay, so still feeling pretty soft. I think I did a decent job repressing it. All right, I'm even more uncertain than I was before on what to do. So let's start with Trappa and building it just in this inner portion here. All right, let's start building this up here and just see what happens. Basically just blending it right up into the eyebrow. It's actually quite subdued. Nice even distribution of pigment though. And let's kind of take that halfway, blend it to about here. All right, next I think I'm going to dip right into Spooky and start creating a shape out this way. Ooh, okay, wow, she's pigmented. In the photos, this definitely felt more like a brighter pastel vibe, but it has in the pan and on the lid so much depth to it. It's very punchy and super unique. I don't think I have anything like this in my collection. Just blending out beautifully. Ooh, I like that. I think I'm gonna dip back into Trappa for a hot minute just to blend a little bit more these two colors together. Let's build up this inner third with atoms. Taking a fairly small amount and just pressing it into the socket. I was just talking about different types of dark greens in my last video. If you haven't seen it yet, I will link it up here. And I was talking about how each shade of green is just slightly different. This one's no exception. You know, it is another dark green. However, this one is certainly leaning more towards a jewel tone than an earthy tone. A lot more blue in this one. Going back into Trappa and just blending those two shades together a bit more. All right, to deepen up the outer edge, let's dip into Dairy, which I'm thinking is a reference to where Stephen King sets most of his novels, in Derry, Maine. I'm trying to be very sparing with this one. This is very deep in tone. These are some very unique mattes. Like, they're very uncommon. Just dipping back into Spooky quickly to reinforce that outer corner. Let's cut a crease. Just filling in this cut crease, and then I'm just gonna tap over where these two areas meet just to create a bit of a gradient outward. Now the hard part is figuring out which stunning metallic shade do I put on the lid. I think firstly I want to pack 0 onto this portion here, and then I might do Handbook in the inner corner. I'm picking that up on a dry brush first just to see what happens. That is really freaking pretty. Let's go with Handbook. And then let's go back into 0, trying to blend these two together. I'm kind of going over top of this dark purple with Spooky, just because I don't think I like that dark outer third as much as I thought I would. That covered really nicely, like they layered on top of each other really well. And I think I kind of want to do the same thing with the dark green. As pretty as it is, it's not really working in this setting, so I'm gonna just take Trappa and layer on top of that. And now I can't really tell if I love this or hate it. Let's take 0 again and just kind of go over top of Handbook. Yeah, you know, I should have just nixed the green altogether because it really doesn't go. It's kind of cool, but I feel like I was just being too clever. Hubris. I mean, it really demonstrates how beautifully these blend. This whole situation is really pretty. If that was just kind of all over, that would be a lot better. I can't tell though, like, do I hate it? Is it really terrible? Like, do I start over? I'm just gonna pop Handbook in the inner corner and see how I like that. You know, this is actually kind of cool now that I've kind of focused that green more in the inner corner and covered up the rest of the metallic with 0. It kind of works. At least it's not unwearable. All right, well, this is something. Let's finish up the lower lash line. I'm gonna go straight into Spooky because I know that I want that to be the focal point. Yeah, I don't think I want to deepen that any further. I like that shade completely on its own. Back into Trappa for a hot minute and just kind of connect these two on the lower lash line. All right, this isn't bad. I'm kind of liking it again. Just a few too many steps though, like it was very unnecessary, all the work I did. So hopefully the other side will not take nearly as long. I'm gonna go do that, put on some lashes, and then we will be right back. Other side done, lashes on. The lashes are Next Level by Boldface, quickly becoming one of my favorites. Also just recently featured on their Instagram, which was pretty cool. This side went a lot quicker, mostly because I didn't make the same mistakes I did on this side. It looks slightly different just because I didn't have to go over top of things and correct things. Let's finish the rest of the face really quick. All right, blush. Let's just go straight into one or two of these from Tarte. Let's not forget some Ambient blush. Highlight. I know I want it to be fairly bright. I don't want it to be very colorful in any way. I haven't pulled this out in a while. This is a Colourpop Luster Dust, and it's in the shade Strobe Globe. Gonna hit the brow bone. This stuff does kind of get everywhere, so be warned. I just realized that one of these outer corners is like downward and then one of these outer corners is like upward. Let me just pop on a couple of freckles. All right, and then I think we're just gonna rock a nude lip. And because I didn't really get to wear it the last video, I wanted to dip back into Role Model by King Cosmetics. So good. If you want a local business to support this holiday season, support King Cosmetics. They're amazing. Spray her down. All right, while I'm still damp, I'm just gonna go into How Many Carats? And some bottom mascara. All right, that is a wrap on today's first impressions of the Shroud and Beautbean It's Freakin' Bats palette. I can say that it's probably the most unique palette I've seen launched this year. I just think it's such a stunning, unusual, very alluring shade range. Obviously the pigment is there, the blendability is there, one swipe shine payoff is there. It's all there. There's no contesting the Shroud Cosmetics formula. It's just as good as it's ever been. And between them, they have created something incredibly unique and very special. Not only are these metallics just absolutely unreal, the mattes in this palette are things that I don't have in my collection, and I have a lot of eyeshadow. And I think that's why this launch was just so well received, because it was just something new, something exciting and fresh, and I think that's what the beauty world is really craving. As much as we all love a good soft glam neutral moment, something like this that's fun and funky and one of a kind is so fun to just dive into with abandon. And even though it was a bit rocky getting there, I ended up with a look that I really liked. It's really easy with this color scheme to really, you know, go back and forth and blend and create something a little bit out of your comfort zone. But definitely let me know what you think about this palette. Did you pick it up? Did you pre-order it? Are you still waiting for it? What are the shades that you like most from this palette? And also let me know if you want to see anything else from this palette. I tried to use a good variety of shades, but we certainly didn't get into everything. So if there's things that you want to see again from this palette from me, please leave it in the comments down below. Congrats to Beautbean and Shroud. You guys created such a beautiful palette. It is really fun to play with, and it is unlike anything else in my collection, and that is hard to achieve in this day and age. So hats off to you guys. That is it for me. I'm going to just rattle it off real quick for you guys. Here are the many ways you can help out my channel. You can give this video a huge thumbs up. You can comment down below what you thought of everything. You can subscribe. Any and all engagement with a small channel like mine is going to do wonders for my analytics, for the algorithm. So just please, if you got a few seconds, engage, engage, engage. We have fun in the comments. We have good conversations. It's a good time. You can follow me on other social media. I will leave those right there for more behind the scenes things, for more of my personal life, just more chit chat, get ready with me style videos. Please go check out my Patreon. The link is in the description box. There are some links down below for the Senate runoffs that are happening in January. And I think that's it. I think that's everything. All right, folks, please stay safe, stay sane, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay home if you can, and above all else, be kind, be generous. And if you can't do that today, then just do your best. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.